Good evening and welcome to our November 20th, 2025 Bedford Board of Education consent agenda meeting. If we can have roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Boynton?
Here.
Ms. Turner-Birch? Mr. Akins?
Here.
Ms. Macklin?
Here.
Ms. Carter?
Here. Thank you so much. If we can all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go to 2.01, which is acknowledgement of our goals. Please read those at your leisure. We are on to 3.01, minutes from November 6, 2025, Board of Education work session. If I can have a motion, please. Motion to approve. Second. It's been motioned by Mrs. Macklin and second by Mrs. Boynton that we approve the minutes from the Bedford Board of Education work session, November 6. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Abstain.
And Ms. Carter?
Yes. 3-1, thank you, Board. We are now moving on to 3.02, revised minutes from October 16th, 2025. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve the revised minutes from October 16th.
Second.
It has been motioned by Mrs. Boynton, second by Mr. Akins, that we approve the revised minutes from October 16th, 2025. Any comments on this? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes, passes 4-0. Thank you, Board. We are now on to consent agenda 4.01. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second. It has been motioned by Mrs. Boynton and second by Mrs. Macklin that we approve the consent agenda as presented. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes. Thank you, Board. Passes 4-0. All right, we are on to 5.01, where the audience may address the Board. May I have Mrs. Boynton please read?
Yes. Thank you. Visitors are always welcome to our board meetings. If you wish to address the board during the audience participation portion of this meeting, please complete this form and submit it to the treasurer. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes. A maximum of 30 minutes will be permitted for public participation at each meeting. No person may speak twice until all who wish to speak have had the opportunity to do so.
We had 6 cards submitted. I don't think there's anything else out there. Okay. First card is Trish Duncan.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President, Dr. Johnson, Treasurer Friedrich, thank you. On October 23rd, the members of the Bedford Education Association authorized the BEA Executive Board to issue a vote of no confidence in your leadership as superintendent, and when it was necessary and appropriate to do so. On November 17th, our Executive Board voted unanimously to issue a vote of no confidence in your leadership, therefore demonstrating an overall lack of trust in you and your ability to continue to lead the Bedford City School District. This vote is not intended as a lack of confidence in our institution, our students, our teachers, our district staff, or our entire community, which the members of this organization vehemently support. Specifically, you have failed time and again to deliver our district what our district needs to best serve our students and staff. It is unfortunate that as superintendent, you do not or choose not to understand the history of successful collaboration and cooperation between the BEA and district leadership that has for decades, long before your arrival, helped to build the Bedford City Schools to be an excellent learning environment for all. Specific concerns: no confidence in your ability to be a productive leader, to direct our district effectively, solve problems, and make well-planned and thought-out decisions. No confidence in your ability to exercise responsible fiscal management. No confidence in your ability to effectively manage true organizational change.
Trish, we're going to have to stop you there. This is all personnel stuff. We cannot discuss that. We've heard your comments.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're speaking directly about personnel, you're mentioning personnel, with you saying you and things like that, we're not allowed to have that.
Okay. Even if she just mentioned the title. She didn't mention the name, though.
You know who the superintendent is.
We are allowed. Keep going, Trish.
We just asked you to. We just asked you not to, so.
No confidence in your ability to take responsibility or accountability, especially when it may cost you the support of
Happy to.
students,
Trish,
staff,
we're gonna
and
have
the
to stop you
community.
at this point. I'm sorry.
You'll have an unfair labor practice on your desk tomorrow.
That's okay.
There is absolutely no reason that the president of the union cannot make a statement about what's going on in the district.
I think this speaks for itself. Okay. Thank you.
Next person.
Okay, I'm sorry, we cannot have others from the audience. Again, I've stated this before, this is a meeting of the board. We cannot have people yelling and screaming at us. You can go to the microphone when it is your time. If you do not have a card, please refrain from speaking, please, and thank you.
Next person, Doug Dressman.
Good evening, Board. Just a quick question. Signs posted outside had a capacity limit of 55 individuals. According to last month's meeting, it was 75. So the question is, why was it reduced for this meeting?
It's 55 seats in the audience, and then we have 7 board members, and then as you can see, we have executive directors and press personnel, which brings us to a total of 75, Doug.
And then I would like to continue what Ms. Duncan was speaking. There is no confidence in the transparency of the decisions made in this district.
Thank you, Doug, for your comments. We appreciate it.
He hasn't
Next
said anything
person,
yet. He hasn't said anything.
Please stop yelling
Michelle
from the
Bolito.
audience.
Yeah, I should be able to finish.
It's personnel. It's personnel.
He didn't even mention any personnel yet, though.
I have been a teacher in this district for 26 years. We have no confidence in the ability to communicate with district constituents. We have no confidence in the ability to reflect as to why teachers are leaving due to the lack of supportive leadership and a punitive environment of severe discipline rather than appropriate mentoring and guidance. We have no confidence in your ability to build relationships with your staff, students, and our communities in an effort to better serve them. And we have no confidence in the ability of you to maintain a mutually respectful labor and employee relations with the BEA, which is essential to the success of the educational process in our district. The members of the BEA consider it an honor and a privilege to serve our students through our employment with Bedford City Schools. We are committed to the work we do and to the success of this school district. However, we have grave concerns with the direction in which the district has taken. It is the hope of BEA that this vote of no confidence specifically underscores the longstanding and continuously expressed concerns of the leadership by BEA members. All members of the BEA remain committed to collaborating with you to solve problems, but only when they are a part of an open, transparent, and mutually respectful, collaborative environment. For the sake of all those whose lives are impacted by the Bedford City Schools, be it students, employees, or the communities we serve, the BEA is standing together to express our concerns and demand meaningful change, as well as a commitment to creating a positive and inclusive work environment so we can better serve the students who count on us every day.
Stephanie Mosio, I apologize if I said the name wrong. Mosio.
Good evening, everybody that's here and board members. I also have been a teacher here in this district for 23 years, one who has been moved. Thank you. And I do care and love our children, and I do have an amazing rapport with people who I've taught their children, who I'm teaching my students' children now, and I would like to actually defer the rest of my time to someone out here who may have other questions from the community, because we value you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Regina Glover.
My name is Regina Glover, and I'm a member of the community, as well as a substitute teacher for most of the classes that I've been taught. Let me just read to you what I wrote. That way I don't get off track as well. Based on my learning from students about staff members placed on administrative leave, it seems that the administrative/HR process is lacking the fundamentals of treating staff members with dignity and respect through the leave or termination process. I know from working at HR for 15 years, there's no way that you can disclose what a person is being let go for. But for example, we should never see a staff member, a student should never see a staff member escorted by security from the premises with contents of their desk or box of office paraphernalia that they had. There are multiple methods by which we can execute a leave or termination without the humiliation of certified staff. Our workforce is important. Therefore, I blame this school board for lowering the standards and procedures that a school should be teaching the students. The basic HR and business administration a school or any institution teaches must teach and treat the employees and community with dignity and respect. You can't teach what you're not demonstrating. That's number one. And what's more upsetting to me as a community member is that I received some of my education here. Check the books. Not only did I, but my siblings and my children also went to this school. And they were a success factor thanks to some of you. My one daughter got a scholarship to go to University of Cincinnati. The other one went to Syracuse. My other son went to the Navy. I'm sorry, but I got a big problem with what you guys are doing here. In all those years, I have never had to inject myself or even come into a board meeting. Now seeing and hearing what's happening to this school district, I believe we need a completely new school board. I believe this board's processes, meaning the hiring, the forced leaves, and turnovers, along with the expenditures, are grossly affecting the overall school system.
Thank you, Regina. That was 3 minutes.
I have one more comment. I'm sorry. I pay your salary.
It's 3 minutes.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I got one more sentence, so will
Okay.
you please allow me to finish it?
It's
The
3 minutes, Regina.
The allowance of these actions
Next up is
clearly
Jennifer
demonstrate
H.
the need for new and better leadership
Okay.
on this board.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know we only have 3 minutes, so I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. And first, I want to start by saying I want to make sure I get this right, and I'm gonna start with Columbus. And I know we discussed the mold in Columbus, but I saw the letter that was supposed to go out to the parents that we never got, that I had to request, that said it was supposed to be torn down in December, but the letter said February, so that's the first thing. The fact that the 3rd grade bathroom is still not fixed, and the children are going to the 5th grade floor to use the bathroom, that's a problem, and the conditions of the school are deplorable, while you guys have bought a new admin building, and the children have to go to these schools, and that is a disruption to the learning environment. And I ask that you guys not talk while I'm talking. You asked us not to talk, so please don't talk to you within yourselves while I'm talking. In the past 3 or 4 years, it has been the most admin changes, teacher swaps I've seen in the school. Central has had 4 different principals, and as we know at the high school. And I want to start by saying those administrators that are not on leave, and I won't say their names because you guys said names can't be said, they were definitely assets to the school. And that's a disruption to the learning environment when we don't know when our children's teachers are going to be swapped out. They can't even build relationships with the teachers because they never know when they're going to be swapped out. And that's a disruption to the learning environment. And until we had this board meeting, the communication that we're all of a sudden getting, and I hope no one is fooled by, that we should have been getting the entire time, we only got it after the fact, after the board meeting, to find out what was going on with the admin. And that app that you said that you told us to use in the chat and chew, there was nothing on there from June until the day of the chat and chew. So I want to make sure that is clear as well. And like I said, the fact that we had to sign in to come into a board meeting to dictate how many people come in here to speak up against the mistreatment of our teachers, the mistreatment of our children who have to go in these schools that are not up to par. And please don't tell me 3 to 5 years those schools will be built, because in 3 to 5 years we have to wait and go in conditions of these schools with our children. That's a part of the learning disruption of the learning environment. Like I said, the musical chairs of the teachers, that's a disruption to the learning environment. The fact that you guys sat there and sift through the cars at the last meeting to determine what was going to be said at the meeting, that's a slap in the face to the community and the parents. And I'm not sure where the lines got blurred, where the fact that the superintendent works for the board are elected by these parents and the community members. And that's a problem for me as a parent. And it was very disrespectful, and it was embarrassing as a parent to watch the last board meeting, to see all of the disrespect, the laughing, the moving, the talking, when other people are talking. The slapping of the gavel was very disrespectful in times that it should not have been hit. So I'm glad you're laughing, because I'm glad you think it's funny, because this won't be the last time that you hear from me.
Would anybody like to respond to any of that, or no? Dr. Schneider, do you have any comments towards the Columbus information, or no? I mean, I know the information was sent out, but do you have any additional? If you want to, yes, please.
It was never sent out, and I'm a parent at Columbus. That information was never sent to me, never. I had to request it, and I sent all of you an email about the conditions.
Dr. Schneider, thank you.
Hello, good evening. In reference to the bathroom situation, it is accurate that we have a urinal that's down and has been down. That water has been shut off. We ordered a new urinal. We were able to get that relatively quickly. That is scheduled to be replaced within the next few days, or perhaps over break. We have to bring some people in to do that. did have conversation about the letter, so that is accurate in terms of what was shared and what was not shared, which we had a discussion about. So,
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
thank you.
All right.
Can I add something? Dr. Schneider, since you're here and you just answered those questions, my question is, how long has the urinal been down?
Question is, how long has the urinal been down?
Yes. And how long has it been leaking?
Off the top of my head, I would say it was probably about I would say a month, if I had to guess, that it was down.
So when was it ordered for a new urinal to be replaced?
I'd have to check my notes, but about 3 weeks ago, roughly a week after we had determined that we couldn't repair what was there. So there was a leak, and there was some work that was done to determine if it was one of the toilets, if it was a urinal, if it was a pipe. Took some time to determine that it was a urinal specifically that needed to be replaced, and then we ordered the replacement, and then, take some time to get it in. We had trouble finding the exact model, so we didn't find a one-for-one retrofit. It's very close, and we think it's going to fit fine, but that's,
And supply and
timeline.
demand takes that long?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Supply and demand takes that long?
Sometimes it takes time to find a specific piece that you want and then to wait for it to come in, yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to know timeline. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. All right, we are moving on to 6.01, or, I'm sorry, 6, our superintendent's report.
Good evening, President, Vice President, and board members. Under the superintendent's report, there are 4 items.
Okay.
Under the first one, we ask of your approval of the retirement, unfortunately, of Mr. Andrew Johnson. It is unfortunate that, he's an asset to our district, so it is very unfortunate. I'm very happy for Mr. Johnson. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here tonight, but we are scheduling a time for him to come at another date. But I don't think enough can be said about what he's done and meant to the students and the staff, and the dedication that he's given to the district. So he and I have had that conversation about him coming and us having a true celebration for his accomplishment of having that opportunity to retire.
Did you want to go through the rest of them?
Yeah. Under 6.02, we ask. Under 6.02, we ask of your approval of the resolution under the Executive Director of Facilities and Improvement. Under 6.03, we ask of your approval of the following program of studies. And under 6.04, we ask of your approval of the following MOU between BCSD and BEA.
Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead with 6.01. May I have a motion for the administrative personnel recommended as presented? So moved.
Second.
It has been motioned by Mrs. Boynton, second by Mr. Akins, that we approve the administrative personnel recommendation as presented, which is the retirement of Mr. Andrew Johnson. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes. Passes 5-0. Thank you, board.
Can we have a comment?
Sure.
I just want to say it's a great sadness to have to accept the resignation of Mr. Johnson. He has been a true asset to this district over the years, many years, and has impacted so many children's lives. And it's sad to have to see him leave in the middle of the year. I'm pretty sure it's not on his part, but it just creates another disruption that, that was just said. It disrupts the educational environment. However, you know, Mr. Johnson, you will be missed. And I'm pretty sure the students in Excel will miss you as well. And just thank you for the service that you have truly given to Bedford City Schools.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure, based upon the conversation, Andy, that you and I had, Mrs. Birch, actually, he has worked very closely with you, Taylor, in regards to the timing of his retirement and what he is required to do based on STRS. I think it would be very selfish of the district to ask him to stay until December, and then financially he would have been impacted based upon his severance and some other things, which is why he has to leave at this time.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
that is
don't know.
correct. We did work closely. I had to verify the amount of days he worked this year. I am very happy for Andy, because I'm happy when anyone gets to that retirement age and is able to take advantage of it, but I second Dr. Johnson. It is unfortunate that we are losing a principal of his caliber.
And I do want to say also that it was a very difficult decision for him to leave in the middle of the year. And it was a very emotional one, because I think we all know that Andy would never do that. But one, I want to send him condolences due to a loss in his family this week, which is why he can't be here. But also just reiterate how difficult of a decision it was for him to make.
Thank you.
I would like to say that he was really a person that I admired. He took my granddaughter who was having problems, and he took her into that class, and he got her together, and she wound up graduating on time, which really was not going to happen without him. My granddaughter was a kid that did what she wanted to do, when she wanted to do it, until Grandma stepped in. But I just want to say thank you for what you did with my granddaughter, and thank you for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful retirement.
Any other comments from the board?
I'll wait when he comes.
All right, roll call, please.
We did that. We're at 6.02.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, we did do all of that, and yes, sorry about that. All right, 6.02, motion to approve resolution as presented. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mrs. Boynton, seconded by Mrs. Macklin, that we approve the resolution as presented. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Boynton,
Yes.
Ms. Macklin,
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mr. Akins? Yes. Ms. Carter?
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you, board. No, moving on to
One more thing with that. I saw the video for the last walkthrough, and it's kind of sad as an alumni to see, you know, our buildings coming down, but it's also good to see that we do have new structures going up. But I just wanted to ask a question as it pertains to the demolition. As an alumni, are we able to obtain bricks from the high school as they take it down? But, you know, alumni or parents or anybody in the community that maybe even teachers that used to work in the district who
So-
may want a piece of the school, if we would be able to do that.
They told me we were allowed, because I want a piece of Heskett, because I was the first class to go into Heskett. So they told me we were allowed to get a brick or something if we
So,
wanted it.
yeah, so at this time, there's a small committee put together, and we are actively working on getting all of that together. So there will be something sent out to the public to make sure that they're able to, you know, state that they want a brick or anything like that. So
Buy
we are,
lockers,
that would be,
like single lockers.
I would say, I can't state what will be sold. I know Tad and Dr. Schneider have gone through that process before, so they are working collaboratively. to spearhead that process of auctioning off things. So the first step, I believe, is that first committee. I think you guys got the notice out to do the walkthrough. Then the second part is for a committee to go through and try to tag memorabilia. And then we'll send out the list of what has been identified as memorabilia so that we can get feedback from the community and the students. And then once that comes back, the items that will go to the new building will be identified, as well as the things that need to be moved right now. And then I'm told, Tad, after that, a process will be set up for individuals to come in and either purchase items and things of that nature. So I don't know if you wanted to say anything else about that.
If you're able to get around, yes. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have that on the list. We do have that on that list.
So certainly, it'll be up to the board to, decide how they want to disseminate this stuff, but we have every opportunity, especially we're only taking down the North House and the Career Tech wing at this point. So we have plenty of time for the rest of the building, but Dr. Schneider has organized walkthroughs so that people get a chance to look. And then we will identify those things in this part of the building that we would like to save. I think the North House edition was sometime in the 90s, and the Career Tech wing, I believe, was sometime in the 70s. But the main high school itself, the original building from the 50s, and the South House and the gymnasium and the Ox Gym, those all won't come down till 28. So we do have time, and we will identify all of those things before we let out those final contracts, so that Panzika, our construction manager, knows what we want to save, and they will pull those things out of the building.
Will there be any additional days that could be allotted for individuals because it's so quick that it was like put out 2 weeks? People maybe wanting to travel, want to come in, and see some things, maybe home for the holidays.
I don't want to speak. Dr. Schneider was setting up that process. I don't want to speak to that necessarily, but we are, again, the building doesn't start to come down. We don't start abatement till February, so there may be opportunities for that. But I don't want to say that for certain.
I just think that could be considered possibly for
Yeah.
more time, especially with people traveling for holiday season who might want to come in and just walk through.
I think, what did Russell say during the meeting? Like, I feel like Tad, he said he had concerns about that people coming in after the break, but I feel like maybe we could ask him again, because we did ask that at the committee today. So I don't know, but I think we need to ask Russell that again.
We want to identify before the break everything we're going to take out.
Right.
Because we have to let those contracts out, well, Panzika has to let those contracts out to the demolition contractor so that they know what to salvage. So we need to identify all that stuff before the break. As far as walkthroughs for people to see what's in there, we have until February 1st.
Okay. And is there a cap on how many people can attend each session?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay. I just wanted
That
to
would
know
be-
if there was.
I think Dr. Schneider, if you want him to speak to that, they wanted to try to keep it, I believe, he said, in small, intimate groups. But I think they talked about trying to add more sessions, because he said it did fill up quickly.
Hello again. In terms of, you had asked about individual lockers and then the bricks. So the bricks would be obviously a joint decision about how we would want to coordinate access for any of the stakeholders. Separate from that, any of the items in the building, if we were, I've never been in a situation where I've seen a district give any of those things away. They always go up for auction, and people could buy a single locker or a bank of lockers or chairs or desks, those kind of things. The board could choose to do otherwise if they pass a resolution, but again, I haven't seen that or heard of other districts doing that outside of bricks. In terms of the walkthroughs that are being discussed, so, the North House walkthroughs, we had a couple hours in 2 different days that we had scheduled for that. We wanted a weekday and then we wanted a weekend to try and be able to accommodate more people. We were looking to keep the groups small. as was mentioned, those filled up pretty quickly, so Mr. Newell is adding, hours in the beginning and the end, so we can capture all the people that want to be there.
What's small and intimate? What's the
10,
number?
we were looking at 10.
Only 10 people
At
a
a,
day?
in one,
At
no,
a
no, no,
time.
no, 10 in one group, and then you just
Oh,
run all different groups with different people and walk through.
okay.
So,
That's probably the common day.
Okay, sorry, we can't.
understood.
add
So,
another weekend day.
in terms of the walkthroughs of the winter, that is gonna be problematic. We have until February until the demolition and the abatement starts, but there's going to be a significant amount of movement between the north house and the south house as soon as winter break ends, so I would strongly suggest that we don't have any community members or walkthroughs after winter break. I know that it's more convenient for people, but we need to clear out significant portions of the south house to accommodate the staff and students who are coming, and those, like a lot of things, are gonna go to the north house. It's not going to be really appropriate or ready for people to be walking through at that point. We need kind of a stopgap to be able to shift hundreds of different items and accommodate it, and move whiteboards and move Promethean boards and do drops.
I
and
get out of that. I
Try and
understand.
minimize, disruption to the staff and students. So,
However,
we're,
this is huge. And
Yeah.
our alumni community is big, and our stakeholder community is huge, that has supported the district over the years. And I just want to make sure that we are being able to accommodate people who really want to see. I know
Yeah.
the last couple years, we've had class reunions, and they've been able to walk through, but everybody hasn't had a 20-year or a 30-year
Yeah.
class reunion. And people really do want to see. And like I said, I have classmates and people I attended school with who live out of town, live out of state, live out the country, and maybe will be traveling for the holiday as far as like between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And maybe that would allot them the ability to be able to come in. So that's why I'm bringing it up,
yeah, I
because
understand.
I got one recommendation.
it's a heart thing, right? People care about this district and care about this school, so being able to open it up to more.
Yeah, that
So-
was the goal in trying to make the sessions, and, they did fill up very quickly. The response speaks to what you had stated,
Right.
so we immediately started adding sessions, trying to accommodate. It's easy to add time, it's easy to add additional days. I do think we really need to make sure that it's ready, that the South House is ready for the students and the staff when they come back for winter break, so I would recommend that.
So,
that
one thing,
stopgap.
Dr. Snyder,
Yeah, please.
we might want to consider, because I know things are closed, but what we could do, I hate to put this on JC, but I think we do have some games over the break. So
Yeah.
if we could talk with him and security maybe before a game, that might be a nice idea, to have people come in. I don't know if we have some alumni here, maybe Ms. Turner Birch or some other, maybe we could have some assistance maybe before a game, with that.
Yeah.
If that could be considered possibly.
The games definitely are a good opportunity. The North House gets more difficult to access, and there's some, pretty, I think, serious logistical concerns. But the other thing is, in seeing buildings decommissioned in the past, I've talked with a number of people who couldn't make this event, or they had a specific piece of a mural that their aunt or uncle or parent had been a part of, and I've always tried to work with families to try and gain access, have a private conversation to try and figure out when they can come up, when they can see it, or what they could, like somebody's had a nameplate from a mural that they painted back in the 60s or the 70s, and trying to accommodate those things. So there's a window right now that's relatively small. It's easy to add days. It's easy to add time. I think the games is great because there's, a couple opportunities there. But then I'm sure people will reach out with pieces that are emotional to them and ask, where it is, what's going to happen to it, can I have it, and then maybe that is a board resolution. And the North House, this section that's remaining is roughly 3/4 of the building. And there's going to be many more opportunities to see the remainder of the building from now until 2028.
Well, when you do add the extra days and times, can we just make sure that it comes at a time sooner than later, like not last minute,
Yeah.
day before, week before, anything like that? Just to
absolutely.
be able, people to be able to accommodate, so consider the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to 6.03, approval of program studies as presented. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve the program studies as presented.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Akins and second by Mrs. Turner Birch, that we approve the program of studies as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you, Board. We are now on to 6.04, the MOU between BCSD and BEA as presented. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mrs. Macklin, second by Mrs. Boynton, that we approve the MOU as presented. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes, thank you, Board. We are on to the Treasurer's Report. I'm going to transfer it over to Taylor.
Thank you, Madam President, Madam Vice President, board members. Tonight, my first item, 7.01, is informational only, is the monthly report for the month of October 2025. If you turn to page 3, you will see that we are potentially trending 385,000 favorable to the 5-year forecast that was presented. This impact would reduce our deficit spending to $2,355,598. So we are still deficit spending, but we are trending more favorable than what was forecasted in October. Item 7.02 is our gifts and donations. National Council of Negro Women, Cuyahoga County section has donated 400 feminine hygiene kits with the approximate value of $1,199.60. And then item 7.03 is our health insurance administrator and pharmacy benefit manager. Over the calendar year of 2025, our benefits committee met 8 times. We had Cigna for this year. Cigna came back with their rate increase of 34.9% in January 1st, which the district could not afford to continue with Cigna. As a committee, we unanimously voted to move on from Cigna and chose to go with Mutual Health Services, which is owned by Medical Mutual of Ohio, for our health insurance administration. One of the reasons we went with that because they would allow us to carve out the pharmacy and go with a different pharmacy management, and we were going to go with True RX, which is independently owned and kind of allows us to shop the market more freely instead of being locked into what our health insurance provider tells us we have to have. And then we will have a new stop-loss carrier, and that, I'm sorry, I gotta scroll down. That will be Coveries. They will be our stop-loss carrier. Stop-loss is whenever we get a claim that reaches over $150,000, stop-loss comes in to mitigate our costs. That is it for my items.
Thank you so much. All right, so as you heard, 7.01 is just for information only. Moving on to 7.02 for our gifts and donations. May I have a motion to approve donations?
I
Oh, yes.
understand
You
that
have a question for the-
7.01 is just for
Okay.
information. We're not approving anything, but I do have some
That's fine.
questions as it pertains to it.
Sure.
As I'm looking also in comparison to September to October, looking at September, we were at a deficit cash balance of $734,440, and this one is reflecting $2.8 million. Is the cash balance,
If you're
what do I
looking
want to say? When it comes, I can't think of the word right now, starts with a C. But when it goes comprehensive, like, is it going for the whole year, or is this still just month to month?
If I'm looking at page 3 of this report, so you'll notice that underneath it, it says lower than the previous year. So that's year to date, year to date.
Okay.
I should also preference that in September, we had not done the fall forecast, so it was going off of the spring forecast numbers.
Okay.
Now that we have presented the fall forecast, it's going to be aligned with that forecast that was presented moving forward until I update in February, and then the monthly report reflect that new forecast.
Okay, so then my other suggestion, because it also is a negative balance, can we not put that in green? Off of just looking, you would think that that's okay, if we're just paying attention to color.
I'm sorry,
but-
mine's in black and white, so I gotta pull it up. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
It's blue, yellow, and green.
Yep.
However, if there's a negative balance at any point, it should be in red or not green. Green means go. Like, that's just
Yep.
automatically what our minds just
Yeah.
think, right?
I think the
So-
purpose of it was green was revenue, but yes, I will take that note and make sure it's color coordinated better.
And then as we look at, I'm glad you brought up revenues. So the revenues are year-to-date, but looking at, so once again, looking at September, you said it was reflective to the 5-year forecast from September.
From
So where the
May.
revenues were at 2 million, now we're down to 901. Does this have anything to do with the state budgeting right now? Like, what is tied into why is such a significant difference in revenues from that last monthly balance to this one?
So September was tied into May of 2025's 5-year forecast. That was before the governor vetoed certain items of the biennium bill that was passed. So that forecast was based on knowledge that we did not know in July. Now that I know that knowledge, it was updated in the October 2025 forecast. So the number that Dr. Johnson's pointing out, the negative $2,893,079 is based on where we were at last October versus now. Our cash balance has gone down because we have been deficit spending, but we are trending more favorable than what was forecasted.
When I do go down to, when we're looking at line items, can you tell me what line item, like, we pay out attorney's fees?
That would be purchase services, which is object of 418 in our accounting code. So if you turn to page 5, you can see our purchase services. To date, it's right under salaries and benefits. You'll see our actual versus prior year. We are $39,950 favorable. That does have the green that you were asking about as far as marking it as favorable. So that part does have the color coding you asked for.
So, and you said that's that's in the actual expenses incurred through September, in October, right?
For the month of October.
Would be the purchase service line?
Yes. And now that's for our fiscal year to date. That's from July to October 31st of 2025.
So
And then-
looking at September and looking at this month, it's another $1 million increase?
That could be. I don't have September's report in front of me, but it all
I have
depends.
September right here. The purchase services was at 1.6 million. And I'm seeing for this month is at 2.3.
What was that last year? I'm sorry.
September says 1.640, 766.
So
And
that's,
as of October, it's 2.342.
so that's not all attorney's fees. It's also software it's anything that's not physical, textbook would be supplies. But it's any kind of purchase services that we have, personnel that's not paid out of our payroll. Our subs are now out of the ESC.
Out of purchase services too, because we pay for the ESC.
We no longer have
Can we have a
in-house.
breakdown of how that breaks down then?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
can provide that to the board.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, I would just like to say, because we took it also is a difference in expenditures internal, you speak about subs, is because previously we're paying district subs out of here. There was just a shift from it being paid out of the district. Now all subs are paid for out of ESC.
Which is a purchase
which is a
service.
purchase service.
Which that got changed last year, am I correct?
Yeah, last year to this
Yeah.
year. This
Yeah.
would be the impact year.
Mhm.
Thank you. Any additional questions or comments on the report?
No, thank you. I look forward to seeing that breakdown.
Yeah, I can send it tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to 7.02, gifts and donations. May I have a motion?
So moved. My sister's from the Cuyahoga County section.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned by Mrs. Turner Birch, second by Mrs. Macklin, that we approve the following donations. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes, Ms. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Ms. Macklin,
Yes.
Ms. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Ms. Carter.
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you, board. 7.03, on to motion to approve the health insurance administrator, stop loss carrier, and pharmacy benefit manager for calendar 2026. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mrs. Boynton and second by Mrs. Macklin that we approve the health insurance administrator. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Boynton,
Yes.
Ms. Macklin,
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Ms. Carter.
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you, board. All right, on to 8.01, our OPSI agreement. May I have a motion to approve the tentative agreement as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned by Mrs. Macklin and second by Mr. Akins that we approve the tentative agreement as presented. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Macklin,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Ms. Boynton,
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Ms. Carter.
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you, board. All righty. Moving on to 9.01, we have entered into executive session.
Can we take a moment to talk about how we were in Columbus? I would love to
Oh,
discuss.
Yeah,
No, that's the one I
We just
approved.
did OPSI.
Oh, I'm sorry. Delmar, did you want to speak on behalf of, I'm sorry, yes, please, come on in. I am so sorry. Forgot you were sitting out there. You're so quiet. Come on in.
My bad. Good evening. I'm Officer Calhoun. I'm a senior officer at the high school, and I'm also the OPSI president. First of all, thank you for the vote. Thank you. I appreciate it. We negotiated a 2-year deal with the district. We focus on, really, we try to make sure our members had health care, had a percentage that they can be proud of, and something they can basically support their families. We started with nutritional services. There were ladies in there that our kids were making more than them, maybe like $10, $11. We got it up to $15 to $18 for our ladies in the kitchen. We did our bus drivers. Stephanie couldn't compete with the districts around. Our wages was low. They were coming to get certified, and then they were leaving, going RTA, FedEx, stuff like that. So we got a 2-year licensor deal to make sure they stay for 2 years before they go. If they leave, they got to repay us what we gave them. We removed some steps at the front and put in the back, so coming in the door, drivers have a good wage. So again, like I said, Stephanie can be competitive with the districts around us. We had people that worked here for many years whose steps was froze. You know, we knew the situation of the district. We knew it wasn't money like that, but there's other ways to get money than handing me a bag of cash or a check. I said I would try to take some steps off or unfreeze some steps. So in our contract, there's no more repeated steps. So, you know, that was a deal for us. We training, instead of the bus drivers getting 25 cents an hour for training in the summer, we negotiated a $750 training stipend. If you do the math on that, 25 cents, you would have to work 3,000 hours for a quarter to get to $750. So that was for them. We did personal days. We understood that, like I said, that there wasn't any money, so don't try to run your head into a wall. We just tried to do the little things that we could, whatever we had to do, so we didn't have to stop work and miss time out with the kids and the staff in the building. So again, I really appreciate it. It went quick. We knew this would be a good deal because we have monthly meetings with Central Admin. We get so much done in our monthly meetings that the negotiations went like that. If you take care of your business with the monthly, you don't have to mess around. And my team, no, I really don't deal with mess. I don't really do that. Don't bring me mess. Bring me what's going on about your family. And I want to admit now what's going on in Washington. We don't want to be political, but you don't know what's going to happen. Some things that's constitutional are not unconstitutional now. So you may wake up tomorrow, we don't have unions. So I wanted to make sure that my people was cool for 2 years. So again, I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much.
As Vice President Alfonso Hudson, I wanted to thank the board as well as Dr. Johnson. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. You wanted to speak about OSBA?
Yes, I just wanted to briefly bring up being able to go to Columbus this past week. One, I have been on the Diversity Equity Committee for the state for the last 3 years, and so being able to sit in a session that was sponsored by our committee on the modalities of education, the superintendent from Mayfield Heights was there and really spoke on different ways that they have tried to create a better learning environment for their children. One thing that I really respected and appreciated is that at the high school level, they allow like a different flow of how students can go. They trust their students. They trust. Trust is huge. They trust their students. They're able to do self-paced. They're able to do learn and earn. They're able to do a combination of the programs, as well as having a traditional classroom where you have a schedule set and this, that, and another. But then there's opportunities to flow in between. And one thing that I did ask about was the self-paced, which I kind of compared to us as our Excel program. I really wish we can look into walking through Mayfield and trying to do that where we once again trust our students and don't hyper-surveillance, hyper-punish, hyper-discipline. I had to ask the question about the self-paced program. Do they ever use this program as punishment or discipline? And the superintendent looked at me like I was crazy even asking the question. Like, no, because that would defeat the purpose of even having these opportunities for children to have exposure of being able to take responsibility of their own education. The other thing that I liked that was a good component is they started at elementary school, where the students run the teacher conferences, that students speak up and talk about what's going on instead of the teacher leading. So they're teaching and nurturing their students as they grow. And I think this is important because one of the things that I do not like and I have seen is that when we look into the Excel program, and Mr. Johnson has done such an excellent way of being an administrator in that program, but what I do not like is that it has become a dumping ground. And that does not support our children. It's actually very disruptive to their learning as well. And I just want us to really take a moment, and now that we are in a shift with that program, if we can just take a moment and really pay attention to what we're doing when we're utilizing that tool as a discipline practice, especially when we have great students, which leads me into another course that I took on discipline and exclusionary practices, as well as discipline, evaluation, and dismissal of personnel, which was very interesting. We need to take a step back, board, and really evaluate the criminalization that we are doing to our children through discipline practices that are not healthy, are not appropriate, And as I said before, how we're further pipelining our children. And we can say it's a black issue, we can say it's a white issue. We don't even have to add race, because I have seen inadequate, disparate treatment and discipline across the board. And I would really like to see the numbers, the data, at least within this school year, since August, what the increased discipline has been. Progressive discipline is not progressive. Automatic 5-day suspensions for small things, especially for a first-time offender, is very problematic. Same thing for automatic 10-day suspensions. Those should not be happening, because what are we teaching our children? Pipeline to prison. And we should not be doing that. Even though the institutionalization of education was kind of formulated in that fashion, we should not be doing that. And if we're having new schools, we should not make the new schools lipstick on a pig and not take in the things that I've heard from this community. Our community has spoken a lot, and not just tonight, over several nights. I have said some of the same things. However, we as a board need to be taking in consideration what has been said, the disruptions, the disparate treatment for educators, staff, and students. And once again, yes, I'm gonna say it. I really feel that our superintendent needs to be placed on leave.
I'm sorry, we cannot.
I also am asking again for the resignation.
And I am saying, and you are out of line with that. There are policies for that.
Okay.
There are
And once
policies for
again,
that.
thank you for talking over me. But once again, I am going to continue to mention that, because what we should not be doing is hurting our children. It is impacting our children. The high school, more importantly, is so impacted when you got people that aren't even licensed to be administrators in administrative roles, doing administrative things, and further taking certified teachers out of a classroom for AP students who now our AP students are going to be struggling.
Okay.
We really need to board take in effect what is going on, how our students are being impacted, and listen to our community, our students, our alumni, and more importantly, me, as I have been the lone person that has been able to say it and actually have the balls to do it. And once again, for the record, this is not for show, because I would say it if these seats were empty, and I would say it if none of y'all were here, because I would say it in the community. It's important. This is not for show, it's not for likes, it's not for giggles, it's definitely not for votes, even though there is a recount. So let's go.
Okay. Anyone else want to talk about what happened at OSBA, or are we good? Did you want to mention
No, can we have a
anything?
motion for executive session?
Oh, yeah, we can. Motion? Go ahead. Or
I'd like to
either
make a
one.
motion to go into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee.
May I have a second?
Second.
It has been motioned by Mr. Akins and seconded by Mrs. Boynton that we go into executive session. There will be no, I'm sorry, go ahead with roll call and then I'll say that.
Yes. Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Ms. Boynton?
Yes.
Ms. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Ms. Macklin?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes, thank you, board. We will not be voting on anything after we come out of executive session. So have a good evening. We will see you in 2 weeks.